The second season of JagranJosh Education Awards 2022.
Welcome to the second edition of JagranJosh.com Awards.
And the winner is...
शिक्षा के महत्व को समझते हुए कुछ लोग इसे देश के हर कोने तक पहुंचाने में शिक्षा के स्तर को और बेहतर बनाने के लिए लगातार काम कर रहे हैं। देश के ऐसे ही एजुकेशनल लीडर्स, टीचर्स और स्टूडेंट्स को जागरण न्यू मीडिया ने JagranJosh.com एजुकेशन अवार्ड के दूसरे सीजन में 31 मार्च को दिल्ली के द ललित होटल में सम्मानित किया। इस इवेंट को मुमकिन बनाने के लिए एसोसिएट स्पॉन्सर्स रेडमी और सोफोस रहे। ट्रैवल पार्टनर एयर एशिया, नेटवर्किंग पार्टनर कू और रिटेल पार्टनर क्रोमा थे। इस मौके पर चीफ गेस्ट के रूप में मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर डिफेंस एंड टूरिज्म श्री अजय भट्ट जी के साथ गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर श्रीमती अन्नपूर्णा देवी, मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर एजुकेशन रहीं। वहीं डॉक्टर बिस्वजीत साहा, डायरेक्टर स्किल एजुकेशन एंड ट्रेनिंग और शरद विवेक सागर, सीईओ डेक्सटेरिटी ग्लोबल एंड सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर स्पेशल गेस्ट के रूप में शामिल हुए। आइए अवार्ड्स की हाइलाइट्स पर नजर डालते हैं, जहां अवार्ड्स की शुरुआत हुई जागरण न्यू मीडिया के सीईओ श्री भरत गुप्ता के संदेश के साथ।
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second edition of JagranJosh.com Awards. It is lovely to see all of you in person. I think the last 2 years have been really taxing for most of us. And as a country, as a family, as a company, each one of us has gone through a tremendous journey. But despite these troubled times, I think it's important to have hope, be committed to a dream, and instill innovation that can change life. And I think that's what is the primary purpose of all of us. At the same time, we realize that different audiences want to consume content differently. And that's when we thought that we need to move away from news into education, into health, into women, so that we are able to understand our audiences and introduce a deeper purpose, a better connect. And that's where JagranJosh came in. It helps us to cater to the youth of India, the future of India, and helps them to take life decisions on where are the jobs, how do I prepare, what are the new technologies, what are the new courses. And a platform like this is designed to recognize the great efforts which are going in, the great ideas which are coming in, and how people are collaborating not only in India but globally to change this world. And today I'm proud to say that JagranJosh.com is over 25 million users per month, and it's growing, and the community is becoming stronger. And I think our objective of adding more and more authoritative voices with us in terms of the jury panel members or teachers and other relevant members of the society or students to take this task forward is going to really help us in the coming days.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce our jury, which has played a pivotal role in determining and acknowledging the most inspiring stories and recognizing deserving individuals for their outstanding contributions in the field of education. The winners for JagranJosh Education Award 2022 have been determined with the help of public voting as well as the decision of our esteemed jury panelists. Let's get to know our jury members a bit better. I would request my team to play the clip for the same.
JagranJosh.com takes immense pride in introducing its eminent jury panelists for JagranJosh Education Awards 2022. Lieutenant General Surendra Kulkarni, PVSM, AVSM and VSM Bar. General Kulkarni is a decorated army officer who has served the country for about 4 decades. Commissioned into the Armored Corps in 1975, he has been awarded the Param Vishisht Seva Medal, the highest peacetime distinguished service award in the Indian Armed Forces, by the President of India in recognition of his meritorious service to the army. An alumnus of Mayo College, Ajmer, General Kulkarni has pursued his academic interests parallel to his army career. After graduating in economics from Ferguson College, Pune, he went on to achieve 4 master's degrees, including an MPhil degree. Since 2015, he is the director of Mayo College, Ajmer, one of the top all-boys residential schools in India. Professor Yogesh Joshi, Professor Joshi is presently Pandit Girish and Sushma Rani Pathak Chair Professor and Dean of International Relations at IIT Kanpur. He completed his BE in Polymer Engineering from Pune University in 1996 and PhD in Chemical Engineering from National Chemical Laboratory Pune and Indian Institute of Technology Bombay in 2001. Subsequently, he joined Benjamin Levitch Institute, New York, where he worked as a postdoctoral fellow for 3 years. In 2004, Professor Joshi joined the Department of Chemical Engineering at IIT Kanpur. His areas of expertise are soft matter, rheology of complex fluids, and polymer science and engineering. Recipient of many laurels including Distinguished Teacher Award of IIT Kanpur in 2018, an Academy Excellence Award for the Defense Research and Development Organization 2019. Professor Yogesh Joshi is an elected fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering and the National Academy of Sciences. Professor Manish K. Thakur is presently the Dean of New Initiatives and External Relations, IIM Calcutta. A faculty member, he has been with IIM Calcutta since 2007. He has been awarded the Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao Award in Social Sciences in 2014, the Indian Sociological Society's Professor M.N. Srinivas Memorial Award for Young Sociologist in 2017, and the Indian Social Science Association's Professor Radha Kamal Mukherjee Memorial Award for Young Social Scientist in 2002. Professor Manish K. Thakur is also a member of the Academic Council of Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences or RUAS Bengaluru and sits on the Board of Studies of Tezpur University, West Bengal State University and Vishwa Bharati Shantiniketan. With more than 2 decades of experience in academia, he has been published in prestigious professional journals and is also on the board of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. Professor Ambarish Dongre is a faculty member at the Ravi J. Mathai Center for Educational Innovation or RJMCEI at IIM Ahmedabad. He holds a PhD in economics from University of California, Santa Cruz, USA, and a master's in economics from University of Mumbai. He was also a fellow and a senior researcher at the Center of Policy Research, New Delhi, where he focused on the efficacy of various government initiatives at the ground level. At IIM Ahmedabad, Professor Ambarish Dongre regularly teaches courses on education policy, economics of education, and quantitative methods for undertaking research. Professor Deepa Mani is the Deputy Dean for Digital Initiatives and Executive Education at the Indian School of Business and a faculty in the Information Systems area. She completed her undergraduate education at St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi, and her graduate education from Carnegie Mellon University. She received her doctorate from University of Texas at Austin. Professor Mani serves as a senior editor at Information Systems Research. Her research articles have been published in leading academic journals and extensively featured in referred conference proceedings, edited book chapters, and popular media outlets. She works with industry to drive innovation and strategies for the digital economy. She also works closely with the central and state governments to explore the impact of technology interventions in areas such as education, healthcare, and urbanization. Dr. Monica Singhania is Professor of Finance at Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. She is a graduate from Sri Ram College of Commerce, postgraduate from Delhi School of Economics, and a fellow member of ICAI. She has been awarded PhD in the area of corporate finance and taxation from the University of Delhi. She has undertaken postdoctoral research at Durham University, UK, and Heidelberg University in Germany. With over 20 years of experience, she has authored several books and research papers, which have been published in leading international journals. Dr. Monica Singhania has been a speaker at more than 100 academic and corporate forums. Parikshit Bhardwaj heads content and strategy at JagranJosh.com. He is an educational content professional with more than 16 years of rich experience in creating solutions for new age learners. He brings transferable skills from diverse industries such as study abroad, publishing, e-learning, and online media. He has worked in content leadership roles with global brands like the Princeton Review, Sage Publishing, John Wiley & Sons, and NIIT Limited, and has travelled across Europe and the US on professional assignments. He is deeply passionate about building an ecosystem where the key stakeholders in education, students, teachers, and educational leaders find a voice on a common platform. At Jagran New Media, Parikshit and team are creating just that with JagranJosh Education Awards. The distinguished panel of jurists has carefully studied and analyzed each finalist's initiative and selected the top contenders for the awards. Tonight, their votes, combined with public votes, will help choose the winners for JagranJosh Education Awards 2022.
Welcome you all to the season 2 of JagranJosh Education Awards. I wanted to talk a bit about how we conceptualized JagranJosh Education Awards. As we all are aware, the pandemic had an adverse impact on all the industries, and the education industry, it was no exception. But our teachers and students, they acclimatized quickly to the online mode and as quickly transitioned into the hybrid mode. And yet, we don't hear too many people hailing them as the heroes that they are. This is how JagranJosh Education Awards were born. Do we claim to have recognized all these heroes? No. There are far too many of them. But we have made a start. It is a journey, it's not a destination. And I want to thank you all for joining us on this journey of a lifetime. From where we see, all the finalists today are the winners in their own right. And we are but a platform to celebrate their success. We hope they will continue their good work and will keep the torch of excellence in education burning bright. With these words, I'll hand over the stage to its rightful owners, our finalists, and will wish them all the best. I once again hope you all have a great evening. Thank you.
Video message of Mr. Sagar. Can we have the video message, please?
Distinguished guests, awardees, speakers, friends and family of Jagran New Media team, my young friends, ladies and gentlemen. And today I want to congratulate the team for continuing this tradition, making it hopefully one of India's most celebrated traditions of bringing together our educators who have worked in different parts of our country, different sectors of education, and made our country a little better through their contributions. It is not just educators, but also students that this award continues to recognize. And as we talk about education, Jagran takes into account technology and innovation, social media, needs of our special children, and mental health awareness. It is extremely important and critical that as we think of our children, we think of all of our children. And I think this is a rightful celebration of all of our champions, our teachers and educators, who are making education an enjoyable and fun experience for our kids.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us our next guest this evening, Dr. Biswajit Saha.
Once again, good evening, and I feel privileged to be here with you to witness the JagranJosh. The real Josh is very much there, as Honorable Minister has rightly mentioned, is in the youngster, and also the educationists who are very much present here. As one of the speakers has rightly mentioned, that the educations and leaderships is together. And that's what is quite visible. And by means of recognizing this true leader, we have seen, maybe it may be odd to mention the Mrs. Chitkara's name right here, starting a career as a teacher, now Pro Vice Chancellor of a best university in Punjab. I have seen and witnessed, because it is not something by seeing her face I am just mentioning. The real startup ecosystems are very much, they are unlike other university. So, and that's what Government of India under the leaderships of Honorable Prime Minister is being expected from all the educationist community. Without heart, so many degrees and profilifications or highlighting an individual institute, university, college or board में ही सुप्रीम हो, उस तरह से मेरा ख्याल से नहीं होगा. तो ये जागरण जोश का माध्यम से, जोश कहाँ से आता है? दिमाग से या दिल से? हाँ? तो in true sense, rejuvenating the minds for future of education, and that depends, and it is really lies in the hand of the leadership. And once the leaderships accept this challenge, I think the new generations automatically going to absorb that challenge and work for the new India. Thank you very much once again for inviting me and to witness such leadership's role here in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And I'd like to first of all thank all our distinguished panelists. We have we have our panelists who represent the school ecosystem, the higher education ecosystem, the career counseling ecosystem, as well as the youth leadership ecosystem. I could not have imagined a better and more qualified panel to have this discussion, and it makes the work easier on my part. I will, in no particular order, I think I would like to start with Mr. Ashok Pandey, because the topic of our panel discussion is developing the 21st century skills and empowering the youth of India to take on the future. So, Mr. Pandey, I'd like to ask your considered opinion on what are the skills for the 21st century schools, which 21st century skills which the schools must inculcate in the students.
Yeah, thank you, Parikshit. I think this is one question you can ask everybody,
Right.
because everybody will give 5 or 6 skills, you know. But let me preface the whole thing that knowledge, skills, values, and attitude, you know, these are the 4 things which make the combination, which will make children future ready.
Progression from the school ecosystem, I'd like to come to Dr. Chitkara. And ma'am, I would like to ask what's your opinion in the role of the higher ed institutions in equipping these skills in the students?
I think coming from the school education to higher education, and well said by, and I think it's very appropriate topic. You all will be amazed to know that now we all indirectly working on the education 5.0. And when we are preparing the student for education 5.0, already society and the industry has reached to 5.0. It's very threatening for us, for higher education institutes, that how we have to give those skills to them. Now, the example is very clear that during pandemic, the students who were not very technologically strong or very sound, they had a problem, and when they had a problem, the whole education system was in problem. So what I will suggest and what we are doing at Chitkara University is that industry academia interface is very, very important, and we are working very closely with the industry. So what we do is that we just talk to the industry and we tell them that what type of skills are required by the industry, which we have to give the students.
Since we are on the subject of the higher education scenario, I'd like to invite Professor Gurjar and ask him what, according to him, are the particular skills which the STM students must develop, and if they are to succeed in the 21st century, first of all, and how are the IITs contributing to it, sir? What's your opinion on that?
As far as IITs are concerned, lot of freedom is there for pursuits of their vision. Students are given lot of freedom. So you may find that students are not going in the core branch. Many of the students are choosing for, let us say, coding, because lot of jobs are there and they have mastery in their own programming skills. And this is what market is asking. And you would surprise that during this corona period, we thought that this would be a great challenge to have a good placement, but somehow, right now we have around 99%, more than 99% students are already placed.
I think what is very important is to acquire transferable skills. Transferable skills are skills that you can carry with you from one job to another and one career to another. And transferable skills are those of being able to communicate, the art of listening to the other person, negotiating, problem solving, analyzing a problem, looking at the big picture, blue sky thinking, and boring into the bottom of every issue. These are skills that will hold you in good stead over and above the domain skill. वो तो आपका है ही है, लेकिन that is not sufficient. It is necessary, but it is not sufficient. What will make it sufficient are your soft skills and your transferable skills.
Swaraj, I'm sure all in the audience and in the panel would be keen to understand what has been your understanding and your insights as your organization prepares the people who are going to lead in the future.
So, thank you again for having me here. I think before we talk about skills, I want to go a step back, and that is, what is going to be the guiding force of how we educate children in the 21st century? And there are a few common grounds that will be there. That doesn't have to be specific to the 21st century. It has been there ever since, humankind has been in existence. Empathy, that's not something we can, use that and apply it in a different way, but it's going to be there. It's not primarily a 21st century skill. So that we need to understand what has to be the guiding force behind it. And in my opinion, it has to be education for leadership, education for nation building. It is extremely important that we enable our children to see their education not just as a means of livelihood, but as something that they're going to use to contribute to nation building.
Thank you, Swaraj. That's great information. I think this is an invigorating discussion, and we would want to go on and on. We have a lot of audiences who would be keen to hear more, but in the interest of time, I'm going to have to conclude it. Before that, I want to thank everybody. I'm sure our audience is going to take away some actionable points from this conversation, and we hope to have this kind of a panel discussion again soon. Thank you very much, everyone.